Hi, welcome to the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and comment your thoughts and opinions on the stories. Let's get started. Am I the antagonist for not allowing another passenger to recline their seat? A few days ago I was coming back from Hawaii on a flight that was due to take over 10 hours. As I sat down in my seat I could already tell that this wasn't going to be comfortable. My knees were already pressed up against the seat in front of me. Some backstory. I'm 14 male, but look way older due to my height and overall build. I have Asperger's and autism as well as a general fear of confrontation in any form. About an hour or so in, I felt the person in front of me start to recline their seat. A female in her 40s, that I will call A. I slightly pushed back of course as I was already cramped. However A couldn't take a hint and pushed back harder. In response I pushed back. Her husband, a male older than her, that resembled Snuffleupagus who I will refer to as B, asked if I could stop pushing back so his wife could get some sleep. I said if horses can sleep standing up, so can you. Which I admit may not have been the best thing to say in retrospective. I explained that my knees are already backed up against the seat and it would be too uncomfortable for me if she were to recline any further. They went back to their business for all of the 30 seconds when she started pushing back. A lot harder this time. So I pushed forward with a lot more strength. This game of pushing ended with her getting up seemingly in distress and her husband turning around and getting in her seat, pushing it up on me. B said you're acting like a child. I responded, I'm 14. I'm a child. At that point, he began violently shoving the seat in a jerky manner and I simply put my headphones on and ignored him, pushing against him with all my strength. B said you aren't going to win this, buddy. That is when my mom noticed and all hell broke loose. For context, I'm an only child with an overprotective mother. The plan was loud and she is half deaf. I didn't want to disturb her because she looked tired during the flight. She began yelling and he began yelling back. I don't remember much, but the whole plane was watching. I simply went back to my movie as a verbal fight started. Some flight attendants came and B said he had a right to recline his seat. My mom didn't care and it was getting to the point where it looked like they would have to land the plane. Thankfully my cousins came over and diffused the situation. It also got me a sick upgrade too. The rest of the plane ride went smoothly. I had no idea it was possible to try to stop someone from lowering their seat. Expecting others to feel uncomfortable just because you feel uncomfortable is a bit egotistical and disrespectful. The folks you were bugging ought to have received a sick update, not you. Comment by team member Cody. Now for the top comments. AITA, you wouldn't have started this nonsense if you actually had a fear of confrontation. Hi, fellow autistic here. Autism isn't an excuse for being so horrifically rude. Why didn't you just say sorry, I have long legs, so I can't really move much, instead of being so insulting and starting a seat war? And yes, you started it by pushing back against her seat first instead of using your words. So you started it. Time to grow up and pull on your big boy pants. You're 14, not 4. Start acting like it. Or if you really had fear of confrontation, you wouldn't have started the seat war. The person in front of you had the right to recline the seat they paid for. You were wrong. Next time, your mother should pay for upgrades. I also have a right to put my legs wherever I want. They were naturally pushing up against the seat already. Just for the way to talk to people and describe them. You're not edgy or amusing anyone. And is this an American thing? I swear I've only heard of this anti-reclining rhetoric mainly from Americans, and it boggles my mind that this is even a debate. Are your seat rows spaced closer together than those from different air companies or something? It was a 10-hour flight. I don't remember anyone not reclining when flights are that long. Seats recline. People are gonna do that. Only time it's courteous not to is during meal times or the mandatory seat in the upright position for takeoff and landing. Am I the antagonist, 30F, for being upset at my family for giving me baby clothes for my birthday? So I just had a baby a few months ago, and a lot of people have been really generous with buying us baby clothes. I asked my family to stop because we have more than enough clothes. We also get hand-me-downs, but some family insist on buying brand new stuff for us because they don't want my baby wearing just hand-me-downs. So it was my birthday a week ago, and a few family members got me birthday gifts. One family member gave me a huge fancy gift bag and inside was all baby stuff. Bibs, clothes and soothers, all stuff I already have and don't need more of. I guess I looked disappointed, so she made a comment about how rude it was to not appreciate a gift. Another family member sheepishly handed me another gift, and it was another fucking I love my mom type of onishi. I tried to act thankful, but some family members could tell I was upset. Several people have told me I was ungrateful and selfish, and I should just appreciate what I've gotten, but I'm so upset. I feel like no one cares about me, just my daughter. When I told a friend about this, they said I'm an asshole for being jealous of my child and I should just appreciate all the nice things they got for my baby. Am I the asshole for not appreciating what I got? Am I honestly being jealous of my baby? I didn't want anything extravagant this year. I would have been happy with something from the thrift store, as long as it was meant for me and not my child. I felt like some people used my birthday as an excuse to go baby shopping. I know everyone is excited for my baby and I love them more than anything, but it's like everyone has forgotten about me. I apologize, she claims. I feel like only my daughter cares about me. You want to be viewed by your friends and family as a whole person, not simply a mum. Not because you are envious of your child. NTA, and treat yourself with grace. Comment by team member Alex. Now for the top comments. NTA. It's your birthday, not your child's. Unless you specifically asked for baby clothes / stuff. Some people do. They should buy things for you, not your children. You're not just a mother. You're yourself, a whole person. And you're allowed to be treated as such every day and even more at your birthday. I'm sorry it sucked. But for all it's worth, I wish you a happy birthday, and I hope you'll receive more support from your friends and family. Thanks. I think most people feel like, now that I'm a mom, everything I do and get should be going towards my kids. These same family members that bought the baby stuff for me give me grief if I spend money on myself, because in their eyes I should be buying my baby nicer stuff or putting it in a college fund. NTA. I guess I look disappointed, so she made a comment about how rude it was to not appreciate a gift. Sounds like a her problem. It's not the baby's birthday, it's yours. And the thing a lot of people who gift moms baby stuff for their mom's birthday seem to not realize is they likely wouldn't do this to a dad for his birthday, and that signals to the mom they are now just a mom and not a person. I really feel for moms, as so often people stop thinking about them as people with wants and needs, and just as servants and caregivers who live to take care of their child, and far too often, they're able-bodied, mentally capable male partners as well. Am I the antagonist for choosing to take in my full BO siblings, but not my step-siblings or half-sibling? I'm 20F. My siblings are Luke 18, Mel Emmy 11F and Sienna 9F. My dad remarried after my mom died, and he has stepkids Jess 10 Male and Lily 9F. He and his second wife also had a child together who is now 4. In the last few months a lot of complaints have been coming from my dad's house. I had reported him to CPS because Emmy and Sienna were telling me about dad and his wife drinking a lot, them not having food in the house, etc. CPS attempted to help them, but after 3 months of their intervention my dad and his wife took off and left the kids in the house alone. I got a call about 2 months ago that the kids were considered abandoned and needed a home. I, along with some relatives on both my maternal and paternal sides of the family, agreed it was better for the girls to live with me. Part of this was due to the fact dad cut them all off after mom died, so they had not seen them since they were tiny and didn't really remember them. Luke also moved in to help out, so I dropped out of school and got a full-time job. Luke was already registered for an apprenticeship that starts soon, so he was going to try and work PT as well. The other 3 kids I do not have an ongoing relationship with, and even though one is related through my dad, I never considered them a sibling. Their mom's family passed on taking them, and so they entered the foster system, while my sisters came to live with me. Despite passing on taking them, their mom's family have relentlessly come after me for abandoning them and not treating them like equal siblings family. I have been told those 3 kids miss us, that they saw us as siblings family, and they have nobody now. I pointed out they were all free to step up and take them, and was met with silence. I guess this is where I admit that during this whole thing, and after blocking them numerous times, but they have created new accounts and found other means of reaching me. Part of me has wondered if I'm a shitty person for not caring about them, especially the youngest, who is my half sibling. I know they are innocent kids and didn't ask for any of this more than we did. Luke also had to block them because once they realized he moved in with me to help with our sisters, they decided he was a dick too. Am I the antagonist? You've already had to make some incredibly mature and tough decisions as a young adult. Prioritize your own needs so that you can provide for your growing family. They criticize you for not adopting more children because you have took in 2 children at such a young age. Comment by team member Alex. Now for the top comments. You've quit school and taken a job in order to care for your BO siblings as your mother has passed and your father has abandoned them. The step siblings and half sibling have family that won't step up to the plate and care for them. Taking in the girls is amazing and adding more is too much. Whether love is there or not, you would overwhelm yourself and the BO siblings would suffer. Also, you aren't kin to the step kids, thus wouldn't be first on the list to take them in. That's on their family, which sound as crappy as the stepmother. So sorry you've had to halt your future and shoulder those responsibilities, but ignore the people who should be helping. Good luck and not the a-hole. Edit. Get financial assistance info from your CPS caseworker, and social security should be contacted as there should be $ benefits for your younger sisters due to your mom's passing that your father has probably been receiving that you now can receive. I hope you see the edit as this could really help you out. Your brother is also entitled to apply for benefits as well. NTA, you're 20. It's going to be hard enough looking after 2 kids, let alone 5. If the others cared that much about the other 3 kids, they should take them in. But trying to bully you into doing it? Assholes. The lot of them. I came here to say this. That's too many kids, even if one of them is technically a sibling. She's also very young and a toddler is a lot to take care of alone. Other family members need to step up. Op is doing her part. NTA, I find it disgusting that the mother's family is circumventing blocks to harass you guys. I wish they'd put that energy into helping the other kids if they really think they need it. You shouldn't ever have to question this kind of decision and sacrifice. Am I the antagonist for being honest with my parents about my childhood? I, 24 male, was poor growing up. We had to rough it throughout my childhood and teenager years. College was funded solely by scholarships and shitty part-time jobs. I don't hold any resentment towards my parents over this, but it was hard at the time. I think I would still be struggling now, had things been different. I met my partner, 31 male, during my sophomore year and we've been together for just under 5 years. His family was in the exact opposite financial situation as mine. He has an established position in his father's company. He has since we met and works remotely. Since my graduation in May, we've spent almost the entire summer with his parents, sightseeing and bouncing around to their different vacation homes. It was such a wonderful experience. I never thought I'd experience something like that, but the adjustment was easier than I expected. As we headed back home this week, we stopped by to visit my parents, 45F and 47 male. While there, I mentioned that this summer felt like what all the summer breaks of my childhood should have been, and how excited I was for the future when my partner and I have children, and can give them this treatment. My mother apparently took incredible offense to what I had said, and said they had done the best they could for me as a child. I replied that I never claimed any differently. The argument ended with us still not seeing eye to eye, and my husband and I made an early departure than we had been planning on thanks to the tension in the house that remained. Am I the antagonist? You didn't tell your parents the truth about your upbringing. You came across as an entitled ingrate with your careless and nasty statements. My mother took great objection to what I had said and stated that they had provided the best care for me growing up. Comment by team member Jordan. Now for the top comments. I mentioned that this summer felt like what all the summer breaks of my childhood should have been at. You told your parents they should have been wealthy enough to afford vacation homes and months of travel for summer holidays. How could you expect them not to be hurt? Yeah, even if you had incredibly shitty abusive parents. No one is entitled to multiple vacation homes and a life of luxury. Like, my parents were abusive as fuck, and there's a lot of ways I look at my childhood and know it should have been different and that I deserved and was entitled to better. But not multiple vacation homes for me. Oh, what the actual fuck. AITA. You can be honest about your childhood by saying you were poor. Saying my childhood should have been like this when your parents didn't choose to be poor is a huge move. It was so easy to adjust. Someone please take the silver spoon out of Op's mouth. AITA, it's gonna suck for Op if this relationship doesn't last. He'll be chasing that middle class / rich high for the rest of his life. Lol. Op, I get being poor is rough, but there are many things to enjoy despite being in a position. Personally, I can't say that, since my parents were abusive while poor. But a lot of my friends who grew up poor had actually pretty good lives with great families. And these types of friends were the ones that always had my back and made every day a day I look forward to living for. AITA, what your summer breaks should have been? How utterly insensitive and hurtful. Your parents didn't choose to be poor. No one does. It's shocking that you don't see how unkind what you said was. Am I the antagonist for wanting space after our daughter eloped? I, 47 male, and my wife, 53F, are having some troubles and a friend suggested posting here. Our daughter Tony, 24, decided to elope, and we found out through a Facebook post. We always had a good relationship, so this was a huge shock to us. It hurt us a lot that she didn't even tell us she was going to marry, or that we could see her get married at all. It also doesn't help that who she married we met once and only dated for a year. Both my wife and I are hurt. We saw Tony today and told her we needed some space. She seemed shocked and asked why. We told her it's because we are hurt that she eloped. Tony got mad and told us that it was her wedding and she can do what she wants. My wife told her yes, it's her wedding, but there are still consequences with her eloping. Tony called us our unsupported jerks and left. Edit some common questions. We are close, we get dinner every weekend and she picked an apartment that was close to us so she could see us more. We met the guy 2 months ago, he is fine. We invited him back multiple times, but he works at the hospital, so his schedule isn't normal. We just want a few weeks to process this feelings and not go to dinner for a bit. Just some space. I don't see anything wrong with getting married alone. Making a joke out of it and telling your parents about it on Facebook is doing it. I would feel the same as you two do, that she is to blame for the current state of your relationship. Comment by team member Corey. Now for the top comments. I'm going to be downvoted. You are allowed to be hurt and allowed to want space. Your daughter hurt you, even if she didn't mean to. It sucks not to see your kid get married or find out on Facebook. If you need space, then take it and edit. I'm close to NTA though. Only thing stopping me is I don't know Tony's complete side. But damn, Facebook was harsh. Think finding out on Facebook is particularly insulting. Agreed. A text with a special photo would have still be shocking, but much better than FB. Info. Before you told Tony that you need space, was there any conversation about why she got married without letting you and your wife know, or why she decided to elope? If you saw her and immediately jumped to we need space without such a convo, I can understand her being shocked. From your description, you led with needing space, then moved into talking about your shock and hurt. You're entitled to those feelings, of course. But as a parent who is close with my kids and would be shocked / sad to miss a wedding too, I would be wondering why this choice? My approach would be, can you help me to understand why you didn't share your engagement news with us and why you choose to elope? I would want to listen and understand first, because ultimately, that wedding is done. I'd be focused on making sure I didn't miss signs that my relationship with my child was in a bad place, as well as how we can move forward together. I'd also share that I felt hurt and why, but hearing from her first would likely shape my delivery. I wouldn't even care why they wanted to elope. Well, care very much anyway. But I would very much want to know why I didn't even get a rhyme married phone call and had to find out while flipping through Facebook. Same as any random casual friend would have. Am I the antagonist for saying I told you so at my sister-in-law and brother's wedding? I, 27F, have known for sister-in-law for 3 years. She's the type of person that always needs to be right and needs to be in charge of everything. She's very demanding as well. My sister-in-law's family members are very disrespectful and rude. They don't clean up after themselves. Expect everyone to act like maids or servants around them, and they think very highly of themselves. They can never be wrong, and think they can do no wrong. Because of this, my sister-in-law's family don't really punish their kids. Like they have no consequences. They aren't even like the gentle parenting type either. My sister-in-law's sister has a son and has extremely chaotic. He throws tantrums if he doesn't get something, and he has to be center of attention 24/7. When there are birthdays he needs a gift, or opens the gifts and needs to blow out candles. It's frustrating, which is why I'm not usually around at family gatherings and other stuff. I was my sister-in-law since her friend cancelled on her, and I was helping make invitations. I saw one of the names was sister-in-law's nephew. I asked if she wanted him to go, and she said yeah. She then asked why. So I told her why. I talked about his tantrums, and how he'll probably throw a fit during the reception and other stuff. She got mad, and said that she didn't know what I was talking about. She told my family and her sister, which caused her sister to write me a message saying how I was wrong and other stuff like that. Well, day of the wedding comes. Everyone comes in happy except nephew. He's crying and is about to throw a fit. When my sister-in-law came out, he literally started screaming. The poor pastor had to stop and wait for the parents to leave. During the after party he was back and again crying. When they were cutting the cake he screamed extremely loud. He pushed my sister-in-law, who was holding a glass of wine, and spilled on her. She started crying. She turned around to leave, and I looked at her and said, "I told you." So she started crying even more now. When I got home my mom called me extremely immature and wants me to apologize. So, am I the antagonist? Being that person at that time was not necessary. You might have rolled your eyes, I suppose. But I believe she earned a "I told you so" for tipping you off. Your sister-in-law told her relatives about your warning, and they messaged you. Comment by team member Corey. Now for the top comments. Bad moment to say something like that, but man, I wish I was there to see it. They got mad at you for trying to save the wedding from drama. Then you're proven right. And now it's suddenly not okay. Again. Bad timing. But I love the pettiness. The far superior moment for an "I told you so" would have been the next time sister-in-law tried to brush off ops advice for sure. I'ma pass on judgment here, but say I'd have totally done the same thing, and I find this hilarious. I probably woulda went the sarcastic route. Damn. If only anyone, colder predicted this months in advance. I'm sorry, but op is hilarious. Terrible tact and timing, but hilariously petty emo. Am I the only one that laughed?